Hey fellas, I've got some good news and some bad news. The bad news is I'm not going to have my Pokemon Sword and Shield EX review ready quite yet, nor my Pixar marathon. The good news is I should be able to make some good progress on both in the time ahead of me. Hey, so with that in mind, I thought I would give you all a belated Speedlog and Star Wars A Bad Batch. And for this week, hey, Kameen, on the previous episode to get caught up. And it'll be the last, the next one being the last one I had to bump before I watch Luca. So let's talk about episode 7, Battle Scars, which sees return of both a looming threat and an old friend. So, with that in mind, let's get started. So, this episode picks up where the events of the last one left off, and one of the figures in the cloak is not the same Rafe, and Trace were doing, Rafa and Trace were doing business with before. I was thinking of something else. But as it turns out, it's their old comrade, Captain Rex, who, given how this takes place directly after the events of the Clone Wars, when the Sith, before there was a New Hope, and with this feeling that even if the Bad Batch are less susceptible to the inhibitor chip in their head, this not only connects this show to the previous one, but also to Rebels, and also connects things to the Mandalorian, as given how they mentioned the original generation of clones, as in the first batch that they came up with. I mean, the original generation of 200,000 units, with the million more after that. And like Matt managed these elements from all three trilogies or the Easter eggs. I mean, eggs and given how, and also to go to do the procedures so the Empire won't sense their presence, and that's. But as far as they know, there are no survivors after their Venator ship crashed. I mean, at the end of the last show, oh, it turns out how they crashed over Braca, which also connects us to the Jedi Fallen Order game, which I'm still playing, is really good. Looking forward to both the sequel and the enhanced version in the future. But as it turns out, how the chip, which was apparently making in Wrecker woozy and acrophobic, it turns out it's even having worse effects. It's making him turn on his comrades. It's actually really tense scenes to have, especially, and I think Ruiz is doing a good job of the animation here, especially. And whoever is after them next, I'm really glad that this bridge exists between, and it also does explain more why Rex and the others are still alive in Rebels. So, it has multiple layers of content appreciated by old American fans. Like, you have lots of newcomers who may have just gotten in the saga. I mean, fairly recently. People like, also people who have maybe they watched the movies in the previous show, but not much else. And then people like me who even just like subtle ones, like the beast in the Deaths of this crashed ship is similar to the one that tried to attack Luke in the trash compactor back in the day. A Apparently the original prop didn't look that's why they only showed like the eye and a tentacle. I mean, and which much like Jaws, much more effective. Like what you don't see is as important as what you do. I mean, adding the atmosphere. I mean, like, there's a thought about being dragged into their being more frightening than a sight of it. I mean, and definitely, I mean, like how the crash ship has personality towards it. I mean, it's before the Empire takes full control of the planet, and then presumably, before or Cal is working as a shipbreaker there while he's hiding out. had to think about who to play him in a live action and film or even a Disney Plus spinoff, but definitely looking forward to seeing more the shows goes on. So, as I explained, gonna have to bump the one after this because of Luca coming out tomorrow. Definitely looking forward to talking about that. And also, again, given how now that the White House made it official, I'm taking a day off off from recording on hang on, uploading on Saturday. So anyway, hey, let me know what you think of this episode, and I will definitely see you tomorrow for my look at Pixar's Luca.